We live 10 minutes from a hospital, a fantastic hospital at that, with amazing staff. However, now we're facing an hour and 15 minutes in a car with a risky delivery.
It's devastating for Portland. Like, Portland's such a nice town, and it's devastating for the midwives too that work there.
It's just home. It's, you want to give birth home, close to your family, close to friends.
I can tell you on Wednesday I had many tears. And it is anxiety-provoking thinking that, you had to change your plan.
And this is time critical. This is stuff that, minutes can mean the difference between life and death.
What do you do when you live in the country, you're about to give birth, and your local hospital all of a sudden closes its maternity ward? Well, that's exactly what's happening in this part of the state. And it's being highlighted as a national problem as Australia looks to come to terms with the lack of appropriately qualified midwives. Each morning, Jessa Laws tends to her bovine babies while nervously awaiting the arrival of her own. Her newborn child could come at any moment, and it's been an exciting but tense wait.
Stressed, a little bit tired. I'm not sleeping very well at the moment. I'm waking up at every little niggle. I'm 38 weeks pregnant, and obviously labour is close.
Adding to her stress is the fact her local hospital in Portland has paused its birthing services due to a lack of midwives, throwing a very last-minute spanner in the works for the mum-to-be.
We've always been taught that if there's an emergency, go to the hospital. Well, that hospital isn't there for us anymore. And as a birthing woman, this is the most vulnerable moment of your life. And suddenly we're looking at spending at least an hour to an hour and a half in the car for some of us.
Jessa's one of 31 mums whose plans to give birth in Portland have been thrown into disarray. Their only options now are to travel to Warrnambool, Hamilton, or across the border to Mount Gambier.
Who's there?
Sister.
2-year-old Zara Wilson's expecting to meet her little sister any week now. Zara entered the world after an hour and a half labour. If Tiana's second labour lasts that long, she'll probably have to give birth on the side of the road.
I said to my partner, I'm like, you better start YouTubing how to give birth. Or how to deliver a baby.
It's a situation the hospital wishes it could avoid.
Shortages of this nature are quite common in rural health services across Australia. And unfortunately, this one has caught up with us.
This is not going to be acceptable to most of our rural communities. Our understanding is that this happened because of a shortage of midwives. This is a nationwide problem.
Little Riley was the last scheduled baby born at Portland before the hiatus begun. Mum Claire feels for other mums that don't have that option.
It's very unfortunate and very sad that their preference of where they'd like to birth isn't available to them when it really, really needs to be.
Arisja Oberholzer knows the anxiety that comes with last-minute changes better than most, as a psychologist and as an expectant mum.
It is anxiety-provoking. I've been very lucky that I have a great support system around me that's helped me to be calm, and people offering to help us find a motel room if we need to stay in Hamilton before we can go into the hospital. But I'm lucky. There's a lot of mums out there that don't have that.
Portland District Health says it'll reassess the situation at least every 6 weeks, and that a lack of midwives is to blame for the pause. But that's little comfort to those with a fast approaching due date.
At the end of the day, with a birth looming at literally any stage, not much is helping my anxiety about that.
Meaning a nervous 9-month wait continues. Daniel Miles, ABC News, Portland.